Hi everybody, Lynn the Leather Bag Lady. I'm going to do part two of probably what's going to be a 3 or 4 part vintage bags little episode. These are my bags. These are my own personal bags that I have thrifted. All but one I've thrifted, and that one won't be part of today's video. So over the years that I've been doing this, I have come across some luxury brand bags. Now, I'm going to do a disclaimer before I even start. Out of all of my luxury bags, there really is only one bag that I know for sure is authentic because my ex-husband bought it for me at Harrods in London in 1994. It's a Louis Vuitton Alma bag. That is not part of what I'm going to be showing you today. What I'm showing you today is two brands, and I didn't even know anything about the one, and the other one, I didn't even know I had it. I thrifted it, put it away, and then I think it was actually my daughter that pulled it out and freaked because she's like, "Mom, this is a Fendi." I'm like, okay. So here it is. I don't know if you can see the little, I don't know, you probably can't. I don't know, you can just see it there. It's got Fendi all the way around. There's the Fendi there. There's the Fendi on the buckle. Where else does it say Fendi? Fendi on the zipper pull. And then the Fendi label inside. I didn't even know I had this. So this is not leather. This is, I don't know what this is. The carcass of it is leather, or the gusset is leather. The strap is leather, and inside could well be leather as well. Now, I've never used this. It's actually very much my style. It's just probably not big enough for me, but you never know. So Fendi, don't really know a lot about Fendi. Never really been a brand that I've kind of lost my mind over, but I do appreciate the luxury brand that Fendi is. Now, I hate looking at my notes, but I don't want to get shit wrong, so I'm gonna refer to my notes. So 1925, husband and wife team created Fendi. That's where they started. They were the first purse and bag and fur retail store in Rome. Now, the Fendi Baguette, which is the little wee, probably this big, was first kind of made famous in Sex and the City. Now, Sex and the City, I'm going to say 2006, 2007, maybe even prior to that. I never watched it. Never watched it at all. It was too late at night for a start. I was a mom with 2 little kids. And I think even back then I was on my own. I was going to school full time, and they weren't on till late. Sex and the City wasn't on till late. HBO, because it was pretty raunchy by the standards back then. It was pretty raunchy. So I never watched it. And then I don't know when it was. Probably, no, it must have been no, it was probably 90s, because it was probably 2005, 2006 that I started watching it. So yeah, it's an old show. But Carrie Bradshaw used a little Fendi Puchette on that show and kind of catapulted the brand into notoriety. Karl Lagerfeld, I love his men's scent. They don't make it anymore. It's just Karl Lagerfeld. Oh God, it's so good. But just as scents change with women's body chemistry, you you know, a scent that you can smell on this guy, and God forbid you move on and smell it from another guy, it could smell completely different. So that's all I knew about Karl Lagerfeld. But he was creative director for Fendi and Chanel for quite a few years. So I have a whole ton of great facts. Fendi had a ton of daughters. They all had different personalities. They ran the company after he kind of moved on. Karl Lagerfeld died just in the last couple of years, I believe. Anyway, they weren't Karl Lagerfeld's daughters. They were Fendi's daughters. But Karl Lagerfeld was referred to as the sixth daughter, which is kind of funny because wore those really high white shirt collars. Looked a bit dumb. But anyway, so yeah, I thrifted a Fendi. Isn't that awesome? Now, the next bag, I really love the story to this bag. And I guess maybe that's why I keep the bags. I keep the bags because of the stories and not necessarily because I use the bag. This bag, I've had this bag for sale for as cheap as 20 bucks because I didn't know what I had. So it's just a little wee bag by Mark Cross. Now, this brand is out of Boston, I believe. Yes, 1845 this brand was established. And I believe it was purchased, Boston it started and then it moved over to New York. Now this brand started as a harness maker. And a lot of, Louis Vuitton was trunk. But I think even before that, a lot of these leather makers started out in horse harness, like bridle saddles, that kind of thing. And that's certainly where this company started. Patrick Murphy was an employee who bought the brand over. Now, does it give me a year? No. He expanded the brand to include other leather goods. Now, Patrick Murphy kind of moved in the movie circles, and he became really good friends with Alfred Hitchcock. Now, Alfred Hitchcock had a movie star in one of his movies, The Rear Window, I think it was called. Yeah, The Rear Window. Grace Kelly was one of the main actresses in that movie. And Mark Cross, or Patrick Murphy, who now owned Mark Cross, designed an overnight bag for her to use in that movie. Now, it's a box. It's a very, very severe angled, all kinds of different colors. And I believe now in the corners, they have like little metal caps that go on all four sides. And was it known as a Kelly because Hermes, the Kelly bag for Hermes was for her too. So I don't know why she got all the things, but it was called a Grace box. That's what it is. And it had placement in that movie. And that was one of the first instances where a retail product was placed in a movie. Now, I know a lot of videos recently. Who is it? Britney Spears, one of her, not so long ago, had the lip balm, the Circle EOS, I think it is, and Orange Theory Fitness. And I think J-Lo with Iggy Azalea did a lot that EOS brand placement with the lip balm. So that's kind of the start of this cross promotion, cross marketing. And the Kelly box was made famous by that movie. Now, the company, did it go out of business? I don't think so. Lee Iacocca in the 80s got together with Mark Cross, and the high-end Chrysler vehicles, Mark Cross did the leather upholstery for that car company. Now, this brand is starting, or has tried to make a comeback. I don't know whether they have or not, but what's her face? Oh my God, her name's gone right out of my head. Oh, I'm going to lose my mind. Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift is now kind of come back with this company to rebirth this Grace box. I'm not sure why. 2011. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm pretty sure. In the 90s, Sarah Lee purchased Mark Cross. Sarah Lee, as in the cake, Sarah Lee. They also own Coach, I believe, right before the company Tapestry that now owns Coach. I'm maybe a little late in my information there, but I think this is the process or the progression. So Sarah Lee owned Mark Cross and also owned Coach. Now Coach kind of fell out of favor, and they were trying to relaunch Mark Cross as their luxury brand and then Coach as kind of their underling brand. But it didn't work out. And I believe in 2011, it was taken over by a new brand. Yeah, a new owner, Neil J. Fox. And he has started to produce, 2011 is 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago. So I'm sure they're making bags if they are making bags. And they're still using the same original manufacturing buildings in Italy that they used 40 years ago. So 1845. And I've had this little bag forever. And I literally had it in a vintage booth that I took part in. Huge, what was it called? In Woodstock, Ontario. Out of the Past or something like that. And I had like $20 on this thing. And it's a little piece of history. And I'm so glad it didn't sell. There's the little emblem. Has it got a serial number on it? No. But I'm so glad I didn't get rid of it because I don't really use it. There's Mark Cross. But I'm going to keep it because 1845. Come on. Great little crossbody. I'll wear it at some point. So there's my two for today. My Fendi and my Mark Cross. Who knew? And there's more to come. So I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane with some more pieces of fashion history and maybe learned a thing or two. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.